We are tracking some showers and a few thunder showers creeping through the area out there tonight. We'll get another chance during the day tomorrow before some changes start to take shape across the area. I'll have the latest forecast for you.
People like that don't deserve to be walking the streets with the rest of us, period. You know, put them in prison, that's where they belong.
Pulaski County deputies are searching for a shooting suspect they say is armed and dangerous.
A Boyle County woman is in jail tonight after police say they found her passed out with drugs in her home while she was supposed to be looking after children.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 11.
Thanks for staying up with us. I'm Kristen Kennedy. We're tracking some showers in our area. WKYT meteorologist Jim Caldwell has a look at the work week forecast.
Yeah, pretty active out there for parts of the day with showers, thunderstorms sweeping through the area. But tonight, it's just some general rainfall passing through parts of central and southern Kentucky. A little earlier, though, it had a little lightning associated with it, especially down to our south. And you can see that right now on Defender, some of those showers that are showing up across southern parts of Kentucky and the little batch that's now sweeping into central Kentucky as well. Already showing up there across parts of Anderson County and getting close to you folks there in Harrodsburg. Some very light stuff coming your way, and this will eventually creep right into Lexington if it can just hold on for a little while longer. It's not going to be a big deal, but just enough to get more of a nuisance issue going out there tonight. We cruise a little more toward the south, though, along the Pulaski and Laurel County line. Some heavier rounds of rain been passing through this area. It's also this little batch that had some lightning and thunder with it a little bit earlier, but now looking a whole lot better. Temperatures warm and muggy out there tonight, and they will look very similar tomorrow morning. A lot of these spots won't drop that much tonight, probably in the upper 60s for lows. Will you plan your Monday? You get out the door tomorrow morning, we're talking about a muggy one with clouds around. There might even be a stray shower or two, but better chances of that will happen as we approach the lunch hour and especially as you head home from work tomorrow, with more chances of showers and storms in our area. We will track that rain into Kentucky coming up in just a few minutes.
Deputies in Pulaski County are trying to track down a man wanted for assault. This morning, when deputies went out to a home on East Highway 452 to investigate a shooting, they say Mark Showalter and Timothy Showalter ran from them. Emergency crews airlifted a female victim to UK hospital with a gunshot wound to her head. WKYT's Sam Smith is in Somerset tracking the investigation. He has our top story at 11.
Deputies say it was at this home where a woman was shot in the head Sunday morning.
But it's a shame. It really is.
Deputies say two suspects fled the scene in a dark blue pickup truck. 34-year-old Timothy Showalter and 55-year-old Mark Showalter. Timothy Showalter was arrested at his home here in Somerset. He's charged with complicity to commit assault and burglary. The search for Mark Showalter is still going on. He's 5'10", 200 pounds with blue eyes, gray hair, and beard. Officials say he's armed and dangerous. Anyone that knows where he is asked to help investigators bring him in. Neighbors say the scene here was out of character for the area.
Everybody kind of knows each other. That's why we live out here. You know, we live out here to get away from everything. It's kind of just laid back, quiet area.
The shooting victim was airlifted to UK hospital, and she's listed in critical condition. Neighbors hope there's justice for her.
People like that don't deserve to be walking the streets with the rest of us, period. You know, put them in prison, that's where they belong.
In Pulaski County, Sam Smith, WKYT.
Jail leaders say Timothy Showalter will be arraigned tomorrow morning. A Central Kentucky mother is in jail tonight accused of having drugs in her home with her children there. Danville police arrested 32-year-old Tiandra Miller yesterday after a welfare check. They say they found several bags of drugs and her 3 children in the house with her. Jordan Valines is in Boyle County talking to neighbors about the arrest. She has this crime tracker report.
It's sad because you drive by and you see like kids' toys and stuff out there.
Toys scattered around the outside of this home on South Street.
They're always outside playing, the kids and everything.
A family's home now empty because of what police say they found inside.
People come and people go, and that's that happens in all neighborhoods.
Another neighbor who didn't want to appear on camera said she saw Danville police show up at Tiandra Miller's home this weekend. Police say they were called by Miller's 12-year-old son, who said his mom was unconscious, unresponsive in the living room. When officers arrived, they say they found several small bags with cocaine inside, as well as digital scales and marijuana.
This is a really nice, well-established neighborhood. I didn't think anything like that was going on here.
On Sunday, we contacted Miller inside the Boyle County Detention Center to see if she would share her side of the story in a jailhouse interview. She agreed, but by the time we got here, she'd already changed her mind.
It was scary because we just moved in here. We have a nice, quiet neighborhood, so I was shocked.
Shocked, the neighbor said.
I was just shocked.
That illegal acts allegedly happened inside the very home where kids' toys lay innocently out front. In Boyle County, Jordan Valines, WKYT.
Danville police say Tiandra Miller's 3 children are now staying with relatives. We are continuing to track a developing story out of Texas. At least 9 people are dead and 18 injured after a shooting between a rival biker gang outside a Texas restaurant. Police were monitoring a meeting between the 2 gangs when the violence broke out. Chris Martinez reports from Los Angeles.
The entire area around the Twin Peaks restaurant in Waco, Texas was surrounded by police tape, with several rival biker gangs being held inside. Police say the bikers met around lunchtime to discuss differences when a fight broke out.
It progressed very rapidly from hands and feet as weapons to chains, and knives were involved.
And soon, guns were involved. Police say the fight spilled into the parking lot and shots were exchanged between gang members. Officers who were already on the scene then opened fire. When the shooting was over, bodies were scattered throughout 2 parking lots. The restaurant is near a busy dining and shopping area, but police say they believe all of those killed and injured were gang members.
They are criminal biker gangs, very well known in our area.
Waco Police Sergeant W. Patrick Swanton says bikers frequently go to this Twin Peaks restaurant. The chain is known for its scantily clad female servers.
Apparently the management wanted them here, so we didn't have any say-so on whether they could be here or not.
Authorities knew the gangs were going to be there Sunday and anticipated trouble. That's why more than a dozen officers were already on the scene and able to respond.
Thank goodness the officers were here and took the action that they needed to take to save numerous lives.
Chris Martinez, CBS News.
A mother and her child are recovering after a fire destroyed their Martin County home. Around 10 this morning, firefighters tell us a home inside Ward's Trailer Court in Warfield caught fire. Police say a woman and her infant suffered burns. We're told the baby's injuries are minor. We don't know the extent of the mother's injuries. Investigators are still trying to figure out what started the fire. And in Estill County, firefighters were busy this morning battling a trailer fire. Crews say they were not able to save the home and no one was inside at the time. A caterer in central Kentucky wants to warn other business owners about a possible scam. Brandy Bowles works for Mother and Daughters Catering and Rolling Bistro in Richmond. She says she received a series of emails from a man who said he was in the hospital and planning a wedding in 9 days. He said he wanted to order food for his wedding. He then asked Bowles to deposit his down payment check and then transfer half of the money back to him. She says 10 other caterers were on that initial email.
I think there's just so many scams out there, and they're just looking for so many different ways and routes to try to scam people out of money, that maybe if they send that email to 20, 30 people in hopes of 2 or 3 will maybe fall for it.
Bowles says she did not cash the check, and with any transactions you may have concerns about, the Better Business Bureau recommends you give them a call. A nonprofit is the victim of a break-in and a big theft. Georgetown police say last week someone broke into the office of Old Friends Farm and stole hundreds of dollars in electronics. Now the Thoroughbred Retirement Farm is getting help from others. Donations have been pouring in.
When I was at the Preakness yesterday, in the middle of the whole thing, a guy came up and gave me $300 in cash because he heard about the break-in.
The president of the farm is hopeful an arrest will be made soon. 2 23-story dorms on UK's campus will be empty this fall semester. The university is planning to either renovate or demolish the Kerwin and Blanding towers. Closing those residence halls means the number of low-cost housing options for students will go down. A university spokesman says demolishing or renovating them will cost more than $10 million. Part of a Clark County road is still shut down after last month's storms caused serious damage. A portion of 4 Mile Road sank almost 4 feet. Emergency management crews originally thought it was going to cost the county $300,000 to fix. Thanks to federal aid, the cost won't be as high.
It's 75% federal money to help with these disasters, and then 12% of state money and 13% of local money. So obviously it makes it easier for us to repair these things. So we don't have the money in their county budgets. Most counties don't, most cities don't, to do these kind of repairs.
Emergency management leaders say the repairs to the road should take 2 to 3 months once federal aid arrives. He first made headlines back in November 2014 when a car crash in Indiana left him in a life-threatening coma. The Knott County teenager woke up from that coma in February, and today, Alex Wendt continues to recover. Eric Ekstrom is talking to him about what his family is calling a miraculous recovery.
1 single second. We witness more than 86,000 of them every day. Yet one is all it takes to change a life forever. For Knott County native Alex Wendt, such a second arrived November 16, 2014, when his car collided with another one in Jeffersonville, Indiana.
I just remember the fear I felt beforehand, like right before the accident.
What happened next was an impact that caused traumatic brain injury, placing Alex in a coma. But his eyes would eventually open in February, turning the page to one of hope for his friends and family.
What was your first memory when you came out of that coma?
Being in the hospital with my girlfriend and giving her a kiss. And then we went downstairs and got something to eat.
Get you over there and get you in a chair.
Today, Alex and his family say his recovery is continuing to exceed expectations. His memories, mobility, and speech improving every day.
In some ways, it's made him a better person, and I don't hardly know how to explain it, except he sees things differently.
I just think it's important to get back to 100% and not to worry about the little stuff like that bothers some people.
Alex's treatment still requires periodic visits to medical facilities in Louisville. Expenses at events such as the family-organized bake sale on Hazard Saturday help to offset.
And I do believe we've sold almost everything we had. We've probably sold 100 hot dogs today, and a lot of people will just come by and say, I really don't need anything sweet, but here's $5, you know.
Before the crash, Alex says he had no idea the kind of professional he wanted to be someday. But through this experience, he says he discovered the answer: to one day become a medical doctor. To help others find that same road to recovery, he's been successfully traveling for months. In Perry County, Eric Ekstrom, WKYT.
Since airing Alex's story a few months ago, he's received letters from across the world offering prayers and encouragement. A woman in Laurel County is recovering tonight after getting hurt in a robbery. Deputies in Laurel County say a group of people broke into a home on Old Union Church Road south of London Friday night. The group, deputies say, forced their way in, hit a woman inside with a weapon, and stole medicine and cash. Crews airlifted the victim to UK hospital with serious injuries. Deputies say a white pickup truck was in the driveway of the home and could be linked to the intruders. This afternoon, competitors from across North America came to Lexington for a special sporting event. The sport doesn't require any special equipment, just an extra set of legs. Organizers held the Bluegrass Classic Stock Dog Trial in Masterson Station Park this morning. Handlers and their dogs came from as far as Canada to compete.
Masterson Station Park is one of the top trial fields in North America. They take the sheep around through a course, and then at the end they separate 5 collared sheep from 15 uncollared ones and put them in a pen.
Come by, come on, come out, come out, come out, come out, come out, come out.
Oh, this has got to be the most frustrating thing.
Good, come on, good.
Alice Dare McCrae from Missouri won today's competition. The winnings for the best team, $600. In just a few days, David Letterman will say goodbye to late-night television. This week, fans are remembering some of his funniest moments. 2 of Letterman's signature segments are Stupid Pet Tricks and Stupid Human Tricks. There have been more than 200 of those segments, about half of them on The Late Show.
It's time now for a little something we call Stupid Pet Tricks.
Letterman's last show will be Wednesday. Well, Lee K. Howard's in next with sports. Lee K., you got any stupid human tricks for us?
I'm out. I've got none.